Hi everyone, I'm here with Susie.
Hello.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I am doing maths at Warwick and I'm a first year, so...
And I'm Nalusha, you guys know me, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A session from a first year to a second year, and let's hope I can help out a bit.
Okay, I guess just my first question would be, like, what's the workload like? What's the pace like? Is it a lot worse or a lot better than year one?
So I think in terms of workload and pace, you kind of have to estimate kind of the same number of hours and estimate the same kind of almost less assignments actually I had this year than last year. But then you have to also remember that the content is that one chunk harder.
Yeah.
And you really feel it in second year. I mean, in first year, it was feasible to kind of understand and know what the lecturers are talking about across, I'd say, like 90% of the content. Whereas second year, you're really just getting that 70% in if you're aiming for a first. That 60 for a 2-1 is literally do the bare minimum because you won't understand everything. And what I will say also is, at least from my perspective, what I didn't expect was that we start doing more kind of what I call A-level calculations. So it was like you would sit in a lecture and learn a proof of why something works and maybe have some theorems to kind of supplement that. But then you actually sit the exams and or do the assignments, and it's literally applying those things. So it is just doing calculations. So kind of similar to what you had in foundations, where you did learn these concepts but then didn't have to prove so much. Whereas things like with analysis was heavily proofs, but this year it wasn't so heavily proofed.
Okay.
So that is quite different from first year.
I think that's good because, or at least I personally, I kind of struggle with a lot of the proofs just because a lot of them seem to, you know, lecturers will like walk you through it, but like a lot of them seem to just come out of nowhere, basically, because I'm not like some genius mathematician who invented this. So, yeah, I like the actual application of it more, so I guess that's kind of like a good thing for me.
Yeah.
If you're not that kind of learner, then I guess that's worth for you.
Yeah, so as long as you like understand how to apply theorems, you don't even need to know what the theorems are saying really, because you're just applying them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna have to be looking down.
That's okay.
Okay, so my second question would be just about exams. Like, how many do you have? Are they at the same times? We had like basically 2 in January, like barely anything, and then 9 of them in summer. So, is that the same kind of split? Are there more, less?
So obviously it depends on your optional modules, and I will stress that everything depends on your optional modules. If you decide to pick 6 really difficult optional modules, you know, you do have to expect that it is going to be difficult. But for me personally, so I didn't have any January exams. I think January exams actually are quite rare in second year, because the second year, the first year January exams are 2 core modules, aren't they?
Yeah, foundations and analysis 1.
Yeah, exactly. So all the core modules are now done in April or summer examinations.
Okay.
So I had 4 April exams and 6 summer exams. So the 4 April exams were term 1 maths modules, and then the 6 summer exams were optional modules and term 2 maths modules. So what I will say though is, while it seems like, oh, they split it nicely, April exams is literally week 1 to week 3, and summer exams is week 4 to I think week 10 even, or something like that. So it is just like one solid period of exams.
So that's term 3 then?
So that's basically the whole of term 3. I mean, the day term 3 started, I had an exam.
Oh.
And didn't stop until I think week 7 I stopped, so...
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
So, bodes well. I had an exam on my birthday this year.
No!
So, yeah, it is a very long chunk of like exam time. I mean, I guess it's about to get longer for me, so it's very interesting. how long are the exams? Because I've looked at some of them, and basically the standard for this year was for just the standard time without any like added time, whatever, was 2 years. I think we had 2 hours. I think we had 1 3-hour exam. Are they longer in second year or?
I don't know what they normally do, because obviously we're doing them online, they're open book, so it's slightly different to what it would normally be, I reckon. But all of our exams were 2 hours, but they were incredibly time pressured. I mean, people would be happy if they answered 70% of the paper.
Yeah.
No one aimed to finish the paper because it was just a ridiculous amount that they crammed into those 2 hours.
I think like online exams, there does seem to be that kind of, because it is open book and because they expect you to be able to like just have the information there, it does seem like they're making it harder by having that time pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Next question, I guess, is in first year, because it's only worth 10%, I mean, there's very much more of a sense of like, you know, you try your best, but it's only 10%, so, you know, if you mess up, that's okay. Like, I know some people who weren't really taking first year that seriously. Is second year, can you still afford to do that, or is this when like things start to get serious?
I think things do start to get serious. It's a little bit different for us because our first year is now weighted as 0%.
Oh, because COVID.
Because of COVID. So actually for us, our first year does mean a lot. I don't know how it's going to work for you guys, but you might have less pressure on your second year. I meant second year for the whole thing. But so for us, I remember someone saying to me that if you get a 2-1 this year and a first next year, you can still get a first overall. But that's like the maximum kind of leeway we get.
Yeah.
So you can't get 40% this year and then expect a first at the end of your degree. It's not going to happen anymore.
I think that kind of makes sense.
So you want to put effort in, but also I still think that you don't have to get 70% on everything in your second year.
Yeah, it can kind of like balance out, I guess. I mean, I'm seeing that even in first year, where some of my exams, you know, I think I'm going to barely pass them, but some of them I'm looking at some of their modules, the ones I found easier, hopefully those grades will kind of like even it out somewhere nicely in the middle around the first. Who knows?
That would be good.
So next, something that really like kind of helped me in year 1 was like the tutors and the supervisors. To some extent the office hours, but I didn't really go to those because it was all online. So is that the same in second year? Do you get more of them? I feel like you get like less contact hours. Is that true with like your tutors and stuff?
So actually second years don't have supervisors.
Oh.
What I will say is second years were meant to have supervisors as far as I'm aware. So the way it worked was for the whole of first year you have your supervisor. Did they do like your assignments and stuff with you?
Yeah, they were the ones who basically went over and marked them and stuff, yeah.
So for us this year we've had our tutor doing it, and I know in third year that's very normal, but I think you're supposed to kind of get weaned off having a supervisor in first term. But then obviously because of COVID, I think they found it difficult to allocate for 2-year groups. So we ended up not getting supervisors and went straight in with tutors. Now I don't know if they're going to keep that system because it seemed to work fine. But what happens is you submit your assignment. Obviously we did it online this year, but it would just normally go to your tutor. They'll mark it. You don't really get feedback. It depends how good your tutor is, obviously. But I tended to get maybe a comment on what I did wrong if I did something wrong. But most of the time it would just be a number saying that I've done something wrong somewhere.
Okay. I guess, then like, it's better, I want to know where I'm wrong, so getting that like as a minimum would be good.
Yeah, you will get that as a minimum for sure. And in terms of like, obviously you want to ask them about the degree and stuff like that. Tutors are there for you to ask questions. So what you would normally do with your supervisor, you can now do with your tutor.
Okay.
So one person in my tutor group tends to email our tutor a lot asking maths questions that he didn't understand in lectures. And yeah, that's absolutely allowed. I will say, we met with our supervisors twice a week.
We only got once a week.
Okay, yeah. So with tutors, I haven't spoken to my tutor since maybe week 3, and I think it's now week 9 or something, maybe even week 10. So it really depends on your tutor as well. But tutors are also very flexible, or tend to be, with if you need them, they will make time for you. Whereas it's kind of like, now it's not like they force you to contact them and force you to be with them. Yeah, it's just if you need it, it's there. But if you don't need it, then you can do your own thing and they won't bother you and you won't bother them, kind of thing.
Did you have the same tutor from year 1 to year 2?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're meant to, but my tutor group got really mixed up this year, and I don't know if it's because they decided to reshuffle tutor groups so that the people online could have purely online, because obviously during term we actually went on campus for our tutor meetings.
Oh my goodness. I think we had that like term 1, but obviously everyone was like in like full protective gear and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so you shouldn't have your tutor group change too much. Mine did, but I don't think that's normal.
Okay. So yeah, there will be that sense of like stability, continuity, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's more because your tutor is the one who will write your references. So they do need to know you as a person.
Yeah.
To an extent, and having you for 3 years or 4 years or however long you're going to do your degree for will help them get to know you a bit better, as opposed to kind of switching tutors every year and expecting them to know you.
I guess then, leading on from that, the 3 years or 4 years, I know that you know there is the 3-year course, the 4 years course, so the master's is the normal one. Do you know much about like the switching process, or like what's different? Because I feel like year 1 the course is very similar for the 2 of them, but if I'm on a 3-year course, if I wanted to swap over to the 4-year course, like is now the time? Like at what point, you know, is the cutoff?
I don't know where the cutoff is, because I haven't reached the cutoff yet, which should make you feel a bit at ease, because now we're at the end of my 2nd year. But in 2nd year, if you do want to have the opportunity to switch, there is a requirement that you still take 90 cats of maths. That was really hard to say. And so what that means is, so this year we have 60 cats worth of core modules, and you can then, if you're on the 3-year course, take 60 or more cats of optional modules from any other department, it doesn't matter. But if you are on the masters, you need to make sure 30 of those are from not only maths but also list A.
Okay, so the higher maths content ones.
Yeah, the higher maths content ones only.
Okay.
And then I think if you do that, I mean, any point during 2nd year you're able to switch, and at the beginning of 3rd year. When it gets to 3rd year, I don't know what happens. So.
I feel like at that point you probably need to like know what you're doing.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Absolutely. And also, the other way around, if you want to drop down, that's easier to do.
Okay.
Because obviously you're taking more maths than you would have needed to. But also you might have to drop down because you haven't got the grades in your exams. So at the moment, you need 65% in your core modules for 2nd year, and if you don't get that, they will ask you to switch to the 3rd.
I guess that like makes sense in terms of then you're more likely to get like a 1st, or like a 2-1, or like a good grade or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to stop the video there because honestly, the questions and answer session went on really long. And I think a 15-minute video for now is good enough. And what I'll do is I'll release a 2nd part later on with the rest of the video. I'll make sure once that's released to link it at the end of this video and in the description as well. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I apologize for my messy appearance. It is now the holidays. I'm finished with 2nd year and I'm back at home. Obviously I haven't got my proper recording stuff, and I've been called for jury service actually, so a little bit wild, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm very excited to see you guys next time. So
Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.